Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to make this Ferrari 812 Superfast go from sounding like this to sounding like this. By installing a Klein Inconel exhaust that we sold through our website, normalguysupercar.com.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and this is my garage, and this is my friend Jeff's Ferrari 812 Superfast. And here's the problem with modern Ferraris. They sound great, but they don't sound like they used to. They just don't sound quite as good, and they can sound better by installing an aftermarket exhaust. I'm a huge proponent of installing aftermarket exhausts on your Ferrari, and as such, I sell them on my website, normalguysupercar.com. So go check that out. Use the code NGS10, and it hooks you up with 10% off most exhausts we sell. One of our favorite brands is Klein, and they happen to make an Inconel exhaust, and it is just glorious. So we're going to install it on this Ferrari 812 today. We're also going to install a Forza Componente valve controller. So this allows you to open and close the valves by pushing a button anytime you want. So if you want it louder or quieter, you can install those on the factory exhaust on most Ferraris. So actually, if you just like the stock sound, but you want it to be louder when you want it to be, or you want it to be quieter when you want it to be, you can install those for pretty cheap. They're only a couple $100. Much easier solution. And they're plug and play, so very easy. But again, Klein Inconel exhaust, they are made to order, so if you buy one from us, please have patience. They do take sometimes as long as like 9 weeks or 12 weeks or so, but the quality is outstanding. Amazing welds, good quality stuff, and they just sound incredible. Enough about that. Let's get this car up in the air, start taking off some stuff, pull out the old exhaust, put in the new exhaust, take it out for a spin, and enjoy the sound of a Ferrari V12 engine with an Inconel exhaust. Alright, YouTube, we've got the 812 jacked up in the air, and I just wanted to point this out. The lift points are actually not exactly where you'd think, because it is a front mid-engine. So it's not a front engine, the engine's not way up here. So the center point of the mass is actually closer to the center of their car. So if you look, the front lift point is actually way back here. Look how much room there is from the front of the car. So you can see right here is the exposed metal frame, that is where you lift, and then back there is the exposed metal frame for lift point back there. So my lift would not fit properly, so I had to take off the front part of the lift and use hockey pucks on the main arms. So it's just a little bit wonky to get this thing up in the air. So underneath the car, we've got, of course, it's Ferrari, it's got panels. I'm not sure exactly what panels we have to remove for sure. This panel, probably this stuff right here. So basically the exhaust is coming from here all the way back. So you've got a next pipe here, you've got these pipes that go up and over the axles right by the transmission, and then right here, oh, you can actually see the muffler. There it is, chilling right there. And then somewhere in here, amongst all this stuff, are the valve controllers that will plug in the Forza Componente. We'll have to find a good ground somewhere. So the fun part is this is an active aero diffuser. So unlike the older Ferraris that didn't have this, the diffusers were pretty light. This is going to be a really heavy diffuser. They switched up the bolt hardware. Look at that. It's amazing. They finally stopped using those 10mm, these guys. That's cool. Alright, so we got the rear diffuser and the main bottom panel off. We did not have to remove the side panels, thankfully. So looking at this, you kind of have two options. One is to remove the bumper, and I think we might be able to get away with just removing the wheel liner. So I think that's going to give us enough space to be able to get that muffler out, just bring it forward. So we'll have to pull off the wheels and then the wheelhouse, because we're going to have to do that to do the bumper anyway. So we might as well start there, see if that gives us the clearance to get that thing out. And if it does, then hooray. And if not, well, I guess worst case scenario, we're pulling the damn bumper. Really don't want to do that. Alright, YouTube, so I've unscrewed the hanger off the muffler, and then I disconnected this rubber mount. I guess I could have done the hanger there as well, but I wanted to kind of get that out of the way, get as much room as we can. So now we just got to unbolt the clamp there, and then yeet this bitch out of there. Alright, we have bird one muffler. So it did come out right here. You do have to remove all of the brackets basically, and then when you get here you gotta be super careful not to hit your ceramic rotor. and kind of play this game of Jenga where you're twisting it just right and getting it rotated. It actually ended up coming up and over the brake. So it wasn't ridiculously difficult, but it's just, you gotta be patient, don't get frustrated, and just take your time and get all these brackets out of the way and shit. So you can see there's the factory exhaust and the new Klein Inconels. The weight savings alone is probably, I'm gonna say, about 20 pounds just in the mufflers. It's pretty substantial, but look at the design difference, just totally different. Got a good sized diameter all the way through. It's basically just, when it's open, it's just straight pipe. So when it's closed, it goes through the little muffler and, you know, gets quiet and whatever. But yeah, pretty crazy. Okay, so we've been working on this for quite a few hours, and this sucks. This is probably as bad, if not worse, than doing like headers on a 430 or 458. So those stupid pipes that go from the mid pipe up past the axles to the mufflers just will not come out. We tried everything we can. We've even jacked up the transmission and pulled off a transmission mount just to try and get it to clear. Still won't clear. I think we're gonna have to pop off the rear bumper. Yay. So it's just, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Keep getting deeper and deeper into this thing. It sucks. So we tried to pull off the bumper, and we don't have the service manual. That's the problem. We don't feel comfortable pulling off the bumper on this particular car because I don't have insurance to cover that, and we both just got kind of uncomfortable and like, no. It's got stuff that I just haven't seen before and haven't done before. We've done an F12, but this is totally different. They changed the design of the bumper a lot. So anyway, we're declaring this a complete fail. All we're going to do is install the X-pipe and button it back up, ship it somewhere else that actually knows what they're doing, because I don't want to break this thing. Rare moment. Sad moment. Okay, YouTube, we actually decided to go the less reversible route. I'm not going to call it irreversible because it is reversible, but we left the factory, I don't know what you call these, rear pipes in, but they had a different connection type. The Klein has a slip fit and the Ferrari has like a ball socket compression fitting. So we just sawed off the ball because there was actually so much excess pipe that the Klein could still slip over. So you can see we actually got the Klein in, and we're going to keep these in case we ever want to reverse this. We just would need to have these welded back on. Okay, YouTube, so we connected the Forza Componente controller and spliced it into the valve controller wires. It's pretty easy. Just pop off the existing wires, you put in the new wires, and then reconnect it. We're going to leave it hanging for a second because we want to just verify everything's working, that our ground's good, and it's got power. So we're going to turn on the car and just make sure that we got power coming on the LED, and then we can hear it clicking and stuff. Yep, there's a power light. Try hitting the remote. Okay. Oh, I hear it click. Hit another button. Hit A.
I did.
Oh, B.
B.
A. Yep, I hear it. Cool. All right, it's working. So now we verified it works. We're gonna mount it and then zip tie all these wires and stuff. Okay, YouTube. So, car's on the ground. Exhaust is ready to fire up. Before we start it, I want to give you some lessons learned from us on our experience on DIY doing this exhaust. My suggestion is don't bother replacing the, I don't know what you call them, the H pipe or X pipe back section that goes by the transmission. They're a nightmare. Just leave them. Leave them be. They're fine. They're fine. Whatever. Just let them be. If you buy a Klein exhaust, that means you're going to have to saw off the compression style ball clamp fitting as opposed to these are like a slip fitting. It's not a big deal. It was super easy. They saw right off, and it was almost like they intentionally made them to be able to do that because there was excess pipe. It worked out great. Yeah, just don't replace those. We had the engine mount, or we had the transmission mount off. We had all sorts of stuff. It was just not coming out. We're like, you know what? We're gonna hurt ourselves or hurt the car or just get really pissed off, and it's gonna suck, and then everyone's gonna be unhappy, and it just, no. So don't do it. Let's fire it up, hear this thing, and all of its glory. Valves closed. valves open. Wow. Alright YouTube, you won't be able to see much because it's, well, dark. So you get to stare at the Ferrari logo. But listen to this. Oh yeah. I wonder it's like with the windows open, or windows up. How much you get inside the car. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh, that sounds just fantastic. It's not droning at all. It's got a nice high pitch to it. Yeah, I think Sport Cats are gonna make it really wake up that sound too. Yeah, it's got much more of that F1 pitch to it.
Yeah.
I like the G-force meter. AKA the fun meter. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, that was worth a day's worth of work.
Yes, it was.
Well, we're pretty pleased with that. It definitely changed the pitch to be more F1-like. It's got some of that higher pitch sound, especially up near 9,000 RPMs. It just sounds absolutely insane. He's got some Sport Cats on order. We're gonna see if those, I don't know if he wants to do them or not. He's like, it's already pretty impressive. So the X-Pipe, definitely a must if you have an F12 or an 812. The mufflers, honestly, like you could probably do those or not. I don't know if those make as much a difference as the X-Pipe, but you definitely want the X-Pipe. And the valve controller is a must too, just so you can open and close them whenever you want. So we sell all those things on our website, normalguysupercar.com. Check it out, and we do appreciate that when you guys can support us. So that's going to do it for this video. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be doing a lot of cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.